G'day! I thought I'd run through the first third of my 2021 F1 season, and I'm going to start in 8 seconds time. We're 8 races into the 2021 season. There's 23 races on the calendar. That's roughly a third. So I thought I'd give you a little recap of what I've experienced over these 3 and a bit months traveling the world. I'm recording this on July the 1st, and we have had 8 races, and I'm going to run through my favourites in order. And when I say races, I mean the 4-day event, not the actual Sunday race day. That's a different classification. Number 1, Monaco. Number 2, Imola, Austria, Azerbaijan, Spain, Portugal, France, and Bahrain. So why is Monaco my favourite? No, it's not because of the racing. It's because of the sheer beauty of the place. And when I do my live streams, I always get a dozen or so people say, what is your favourite race? It is Monaco. The track's compact. You can go from pits up to the top of the track in maybe a 12-minute walk. There are so many different type of shots that we can get. Sometimes we're less than 60 centimetres away from a car's wheel. And if you forget that accommodation is expensive, almost exorbitant, it's just a great race. Imola was my second favourite, primarily because of the race day being so amazing with that incident with George Russell and Valtteri Bottas, and the fact that I was there to capture it. And I just thought the track looked beautiful with lots of greenery around it. But if I look at the actual races that I've shot, they're a different order. My number 1 standout, Azerbaijan GP. Second one is Imola. Third, Portugal. Spain, Monaco, because there wasn't much in fact there wasn't any overtaking. Austria, France, and once again Bahrain after 8 races. When it comes to photos I've taken this year, I've taken a lot. I average about 15,000 per race. I keep about 1,000 and put them up on ProStarPics and KimIllman.com. But my standout pictures this year would be the tunnel shots, cars coming out of the tunnel, coming into bright light with darkness behind, and in particular the Gulf oil liveried McLarens, because that was a one-off affair. And those pictures have been my best sellers this year on ProStarPics.com by a mile. But I also love the pictures of Valtteri and George after that crash at Imola. They, to me, are very powerful pictures, and they tell a story. This series of pictures with Lando Norris spinning at the second last corner in one of the practice sessions really stood out to me. I was lucky enough to be at the right spot and capture it. And then on race day in Azerbaijan, Max's spin, Lewis going off at the first turn on the restart, are all pictures that resonate with me, and hopefully with you. And then there are pictures like these in Austria last week. I love them. But what's it like to be on the road for nearly 4 months? And in actual fact, before I get back to Australia, my time on the road will be all of 9 months. It's exciting sometimes, it's laborious at others, but in general, no complaints. I've got to see some amazing stuff this year. One of the good things about COVID is that airports are a lot quieter, which makes moving around a lot easier. And occasionally you'll get an airport like Moscow Airport Terminal E, where there was no one in there, and that was an amazing place to be. Some of the frustrations are that with regards my Schengen visa, I only have a set number of days that I can stay in the Schengen countries, and that's resulted in me here having to travel to Albania in between Austria 1 and 2 just to save some days on my visa. No complaints, because I'm in the Maritime Plaza Hotel in Tirana, and it is fantastic and a really marvellous place. And that surprised me, because when I've got out and gone for a walk around the town, I'm amazed at the sense of community here and the fact that people are getting out at night, having fun, no masks. They've got their COVID cases down to, I think, 1 yesterday, 1 new case in over 3 million people, so they're pretty good odds. And while that does allow me to see countries like this, which I would never go to, it is a bit of a pain in the bum, obviously, because after a Sunday night race, I would normally hang around, stay till Monday or Tuesday and then go on. But now I'm having to leave on a Sunday night after the race and go to wherever there are flights. So for last race, Austria, and for the next Austrian race, I can only go to 3 capitals outside of Schengen country. Well, I can go a lot further. There's no point. I think there was Bucharest, Belgrade, and Tirana. So after this coming race, and if you're watching this after the Austrian 2 race, I will be in or have already been to Bucharest. Some of you have asked what my favourite catering is at the track. Standout, Imola, by a mile. Just beautiful pastas and salads served in a nice canteen. My least favourites, probably 2, France and Monaco. They're okay, it's just that they weren't Imola. On the health side of things, some people say, aren't you worried about getting COVID? I'm not sure I'm worried about it. I'm careful in so much as most times when I'm outside I'm wearing a mask. Certainly inside I'm wearing a mask, unless I'm in an area where I'm the only person there. And F1 has been very diligent with testing. We get tested at the start of an event and at the end of an event. I'm diligent with using the hand sanitizer at just about every other place. Can't say that I'm happy about wearing the masks, having not worn them for the entire year in Australia last year. But if that's the downside of being able to shoot this sport, happy to wear it. In regards to the differences between the last time I shot the full season, which was in 2019, and this year, there are many. For a start, we don't have access to the paddock, which means we get far fewer photos of the drivers going about their day. Yes, we get them arriving at the track, and if we wish, we can stay and shoot them leaving, although I don't think many others do either. But that still allows me to post a number of pictures per day so that you can see what drivers are wearing, and in particular Lewis Hamilton. He has been a godsend this year in terms of the last 2 races and probably more. He's worn a different fashionable outfit every single morning, and it's an event for us photographers. What about the cost of travel this year? Well, normally I would fly back after every second odd race to Australia, and they're pretty expensive flights, and it's actually cheaper for me to stay in Europe and pay for hotels than it is for me to fly back to Australia. So I've actually managed to save some money this year. I do love the races that we don't have to get hire cars. Monaco, Azerbaijan, we can walk to the track and stay close by. Singapore's another one, but of course we're not going to Singapore this year. But when I do have to hire a car, there's this tremendous difference in pricing. If I give you Bahrain for an example, I think I paid about, I'm thinking 12 euros a day for a car. At the last race in Austria, it was something like 80 euros a day. Maybe if I booked a bit earlier, I would have got it a bit cheaper, but there is a big difference in pricing of cars around the world, as there is with accommodation. And this year I've stayed at a variety, both hotels and Airbnbs. What do I prefer? Look, it's a bit of both. Sometimes I love the fact that a hotel has staff and facilities that I can make use of. Other times I think, well, I just like some privacy and be in a larger sort of Airbnb. With a washing machine, because that is such a bane getting washing done. Talking accommodation, I've stayed in a variety of hotels and Airbnb apartments. And some people say, who selects all that for you? So I do it all myself. It's very simple. I know a lot of places that I've been to before and have favourite hotels. But so far this year, I've spent 25 nights at the downtown Rotana in Bahrain. I had an Airbnb in Bologna and Imola. I had the most magnificent apartment. If you ask me what my favourites have been this year, it's this apartment in Lisbon which had that huge deck overlooking the main square. Then I stayed at Vila Gala for the Portugal GP. Hotel 1882 Barcelona, love that place. Monaco had an Airbnb. Baku stayed at the Boulevard Hotel, love it. Had a private rental in La Beausée, an Airbnb in Austria that was lovely. And most recently, well, right now, the Maritime Plaza Hotel. The other downside of travelling for what will be 9 months is everything I have fits in that one suitcase, and it's a real pain packing that up at the end of every stay. Unpacking it's fine, but packing it up takes, best part of 40 minutes. Don't ever be shy about asking a concierge to help you out. It might be concert tickets. It might be arranging a SIM card. It might be simply acting as a translator over the phone. A good concierge loves a challenge, so put some pressure on them and enlist their help wherever you can. Do I miss my family? Yeah, I do. But thankfully, I'm keeping busy enough that I don't have this constant homesickness. And certainly my wife and I chat most days, and I speak to my kids every second day, all via WhatsApp. What do I miss about not being in Australia? I miss not having a full wardrobe to choose from. This is a pain in the bum with limited wardrobe. And if I buy anything new, I have to throw out whatever it is that I'm replacing, or send it home if it's valuable. And when it comes to producing videos, I'll be honest, I take your questions on the live streams as great ammo for future content. And that's what I've done here. I've answered a few of the questions that I saw come up on my last live stream, which I normally do on a Sunday after the race, although last race I was traveling, so that didn't happen. So thank you to all of you on YouTube for your questions and suggestions. What am I looking forward to this year? Saudi Arabia. I think it's going to be a very interesting experience. I've never been to that country. I hear a lot about it. The fact that we're going to a new track is always a plus, but Saudi is such a different culture that it'll be worth seeing in person, and I can't wait to report on it for you. I'm looking forward to the summer break and perhaps getting to Croatia and finding a boat and renting a boat for a week or so. That would be a dream. At this point I have to end recording this because I've now got to go and pack, edit the video and take a 4:25 a.m. flight to, where am I going? Vienna, and then a 2-hour drive to the track for Friday at the Austrian GP. Like it, subscribe if you haven't done so, hit the notifications button, and if you'd like free wallpapers every month, along with some of my raw images to edit, become a member. You'll find my digital images at prostarpics.com. My F1 photo books are available at kimillman.com, along with some new merchandise, and I believe there'll be some people at the British race wearing that merch, and I can't wait to see you there. For my best pics live from the track and all during the week, head to Instagram at kimillman. Thanks for watching and stay passionate.